Right, I think we're done on the outside. Looks good enough to me. Still upgrading this, Krabby? Yeah. We're still... I did have a coffin fit in the middle as well. So that kind of delayed things a little bit. Tom-Tom, we'll have the Tom-Tom over here, I think. Standard wheel. Light, nope. That's on the outside. That's on the outside. That's on the outside. Windshield center, Scania emblem LED. Ooh. Nice. Nick Eliath, 27 months. Quality streaming as always. PS, party ring biscuits have the colourful icing on them. Oh, I know which ones you mean now. Yeah, they have like pink and white kind of, and like a weird, yeah, I know what you mean. Like a weird pattern. I know which one you mean. I've not had them in years. What? Look at that table. What on earth is this? That's insane. That's like putting a sofa in your truck.
Welcome back, Nutter.
It's crazy. What does that sit then? Oh, there's no Wally? Are you kidding me? There's like 50 million mugs and no Wally. What's going on? Did I change something to your volume, legit Rob? Not that I know of. What's wrong with my volume? Welcome back, Kestrel. The volume meters are showing exactly where they should be. They're hitting -10, peaking at -6. Martin Arrow, thank you for 40 months. Rubik's Cube. Toy Duck! Yeah, boy! It's gotta be. There's no sat nav. Go on here. I'm sure it's very useful talking donkey, but it's a bit big.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
First aid kit? You never know. I'm not sure I want any of these, to be honest. Some level magazines. Euro Truck Simulator 2. This is a bit bland back here. Kestrel, 17 months of lurking. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Kestrel. Have you watched We Have to Talk About the Ducks by James Veitch? No. I have not. I will leave that off. Can't bother with that. Right, just a colour then. We could leave it like this, or we could change it a little bit. Kind of like in that really midnight blue there. I got 88 grand for that wreck. That's amazing. 88 grand. And thus, a truck was born. Cool. Let's get the seat and stuff correct. Oh my god. Just noticed that because the chrome, they've got chrome on the inside of the wind deflector as well, so you've got reflections from that. That's going to be fun. It's the old delivery horn, correct. I think we'll just go forward a touch. Does the wheel adjust? Oh, it does. Impressive. Slight mirror adjustment, because they're a little bit rubbish. Bring that out there. Push that out that way. Push that out there. And there we go. Oh, there's the information panel over here. 1,000 litres. Quick gear check. All good. Okay, I think we're good to go. You have the old school interior? Yeah, I do. It's going to be a good drive, this. Right. Don't want world map, I want freight market. Freight market! Right, this... Actually, we will go to the map first, because I've installed the Balkans thing, so that's put in a bunch of places over here that I've not been to. So we're going to sort of try and get jobs that take us in and around this thing. I didn't do the wheels, did I? How can I forget? I knew there was something. How could I forget the wheels? Don't forget to cab over. I think I'm going to have to get rid of those chrome window trims because that reflection is really, really going to annoy me. Also, when I press the brake, I don't want to go flying backwards. Engage the brakes. No, we didn't put Pac-Man in. I think we'll just change the colour of this slightly. See, unfortunately, let's keep that. Let's go down here and just put some colour into this. Standard paint. There you go. Just keep it simple. Leviathan. Put the Scania Special in there. Does that look good? There we go. Is this the mod spreadsheet? It's in the workshop. Just look for a Scania RGL, but it is in the spreadsheet, yes. 31,570. $3,570 Michelin X3D. There you go. Quickest wheel change ever. One sec. One last change to make. That's going to have to be painted. There we go. Job done. Notice the DRLs are running on the front. Welcome back, Mrs. Frosty. Cameron, 230, welcome back. Kestrel, 17 months of lurking. Today, did we gain or lose an hour? Squirrel's desk. So, the clock went forward. So we lost an hour. So So normally right now it would be 5 p.m. in UK, but it's now 6 p.m. You lost an hour. When it springs forward, you lose an hour. When it falls back, you gain an hour. Because you went forward in time, you see? Good evening, Trucker Joe. Wonder what they did with the Renault. Just took it out back and smelted it. We want something that goes into here. That's what we're trying to get. Something that goes into any of these cities that we don't know about. Nope, that one works. 35-ton SM30 to Nova Mesto. Otherwise known as No Messing. Miles, DGL, 7 months. Thank you very much. Cameron, welcome back. Now to that, we'll go... Well, that's another one. 25-ton to Ljubljana.
Happy anniversary.
So there's Ljubljana and that one that we've not been to. Quite a lot of choice here, actually. I thought we'd be fighting to find something, but it seems to be quite lucky. Okay, let's take that one. Lidro, thank you for 4 months. Bosnia is new on Pro Mods. This is Project Balkan stuff. Nova Mesto means new place. Nah, it means no messing. When does that job end? It's fine. You don't know why? Because of time change, this day felt much shorter than it should. Well, of course, Matroshka, because you lost an hour. It always does. It always feels shorter, because it is shorter. It's only a 23-hour day, effectively. Can we stop for ice cream? What? Is that engine audio loud enough? Can you hear that? Because outside, it's like really loud, and then inside it's really quiet. I don't know, Thomas. We'll have to see how it goes. Does seem a bit quiet, doesn't it? Open your windows, lol. We'll adjust the interior volume in a second. Yeah, not only is the speedo clear, but the RPM gauge is quite clear as well. How long is a power nap? About 30 minutes. $20 minimum. Interior. Yeah, that's better. That's better. TMI, lol. Why is a power nap called a power nap? Because it recharges you quite effectively. It works very well. You're like middle of the afternoon when you're running out of energy, you go for a 30-minute power nap and it really recharges the batteries. And it's not like a full sleep or anything. I used to take power naps all the time on the train. A 30-minute power... Yeah, but Zarak, you need to put the alarm on, obviously. It doesn't work for you, Mrs. Frosty. Why not? You have to put an alarm on, otherwise you could just end up sleeping in. You don't want to do that either. Is that going to be auto if we go through this way? Let's find out. Yay. You're more tired? I can fall asleep at my desk for like 20 minutes and then I'll feel better. A lot better afterwards. It's nice to have light in the evenings back. It is weird. It's like 6:10 and it's broad daylight outside right now. It's crazy. How much did my G27 cost? £150. Brand new from PC World. But that was about 3 years ago. Just taking a 30-minute nap gives you a headache. I guess it's like all things, isn't it? It doesn't work for everybody. Ooh, nice car, dude. I don't know, it didn't look like it was quite this long of a drive. You bought a 920 the other day for 179. Yeah, it's just not as good as a 27 for trucking though. Orphid, 19 months, been a sub for so long I don't even remember when I first saw your channel on YouTube. Addicted ever since, keep up the work Mr. Squirrel, thank you very much Orphid. Audi drivers always think they're special. What's the dial in the middle? Which one? The speedo or the RPM? Swing Kid, I have an Audi and I do not think I'm special. There you go. Marco Tren. That's a weird looking greyhound. Look, what's wrong with the bottom of its legs? What's going on with that logo? Look underneath its front legs where it meets its body. What's with all the unnecessary muscle? True Sapien, welcome back. Curve your legs, exactly. That is true, Marty. You could forget that you've got a front sticking out on this truck. It does drop away. Which is both a good and a bad thing. Good for visibility, bad for not remembering that you've actually got a bit sticking out there. Uh-oh, the Renaults are following me. Good evening, Cornish. Come on. Come on. I swear, right, that was amazing. I was rolling, and at the point where I stopped, the lights changed. I think I'm being followed by the Renaults. The spies are following me. Right, Jeff? Oh, hang on, we're in Italy. Hey, Giafano! Giafano, how we doing? Nova Mesto, take job. We need to reroute as well. Let's pick the trailer up and reroute slightly. Giafano Salami. It's actually a good name though, isn't it? Giafano Salami. If ever I create a character that's like Italian, I'm gonna call him Giafano Salami. What a brilliant name. Alright, quick blow of the nose before we set off. Have a look at the routing as well. Right, okay, that's all fine. Through that's fine. Trieste has been done. You dine. You dine? I dine. We dine. Snip in there. Ljubljana. All the roads are new by the look of it. Nova Mesto. Okay, that'll do. What do you mean, no you dine? It's a big boy. I watched the highlights of the Grand Prix. I didn't get up at 6 o'clock to watch the Grand Prix. Nope. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. It kind of looks like some of the roads have been messed around with. You can get stalk lights so you can see where the front of your bonnet sits. Yeah, but I don't know, Motley. They kind of like reminds me of when I used to have a push bike and it had stabilizers on it. And I remember, even at the tender age of 2 or 3, I'm not really sure, I was pretty young. I still remember being really frustrated by the stabilizers and then asking my dad to take them off. And then I kept falling off my bike, but within about an hour I got it, and then I could ride a bike. And it kind of feels like that, having those things stuck up. It's like, hey, I've got stabilizers. Don't give him any ideas. Giafano Salami. Giafano Salami should marry Bella. I know, Motley, and I'm only messing about. Well, I didn't choose to get stabilizers either. I was given them and then just didn't like them. But then my cousin, I remember my cousin, she was, I don't know, she's about 5 before she took them off. It's ridiculous. She just liked having them on. I hated it. So you're going to Nova Mesto, you know where there is a Renault factory there. Clio and Twingo are made. I didn't bring any jerry cans with me. Otherwise we could have had a little bonfire. Okay, that's really unusual for the road to do that. Why am I being forced to turn on a super fast road where the AI doesn't? It's just not. Yeah, quad bikes. I drove a friend's quad bike, but I also had a mate who had a motorbike. I was 7, remember that. We used to drive it across fields and stuff. It was tremendous fun. But I didn't know many people with a quad bike. The Renault 5 was built in Nova Mesto. What, including the Renault 5 GTI? Or was it GTI? GTR? Or GTE? Or Renault 5 GT, actually. I'm trying to remember. The hot hatch in the 80s. Joe Mill, thank you for 22 months. Oh, the Renault 5 Turbo. It didn't have the name GT in its name. Was it the GT Turbo? It was a GT Turbo. Your mate still has an immaculate one. Wow. But Josh, thank you for the host. When I took a year out at uni, I was working at IBM. There was a guy there that had one, and he took us for a spin in it, and it was quite hilarious. It was pretty pokey. Paul, would you ever go back to the demolition of Build 2018 as it's fully out? Do you mean on stream, Mrs. Frosty, or in videos? Yeah, well, back in the day, in the 80s, they were one of the hot hatches. There was the Astra SRI, there was the Renault 5 GT Turbo, the Ford Escort XR3i. They were the ones that everybody wanted. They were the ones that were responsible for skyrocketing insurance premiums. Oh, and the Ford Sierra Cosworth as well was one of the ones everybody wanted. But the Cosworth was like very expensive to insure because it was always being stolen. It was very hard to own one and not have it stolen. And that was when they started bringing in like car alarms and, you know, wheel locks and all kinds of things to try and counter the problem. Yeah, the Escort RS Turbo as well. Oh yes. Generation hot hatch. They had a Sierra Sapphire. I remember them. They were quite nippy as well. Sierra was more like a limo, not a hot hatch. The Sierra was a hatchback. It wasn't that big. The Golf GTI was not the daddy of them all. It really wasn't. It was a good solid car. I'll tell you which other one there was as well. The Peugeot 205 1.9 GTI. Da-da-da. Oh, what? Oh, God. I'm reading chat. Rip. Have I damaged the trailer? Yes. I'm reading chat and driving into walls. I'm trying to read what it was scrolling like that, and my brain's not working 100%. 205 GTI was a 405 MI16. Hey? Well, the Lancia Delta Integrale was winning rallies, but I never really saw many of them on the road. Oh yeah, let's boom that. Let's boom Squirrel driving into walls. Yay! In before was the boom meter questions. Lotus Carlton was the one that police wanted banned in the UK. Banned? I don't know about banned. The Carlton was more of a cruiser. The Granada Scorpio 2.8. Well, Billy, it was basically a cruiser. Like, if you went on the Autobahn or something, you could just fly with it, but you couldn't exactly chuck it round corners. All the Deltas rusted away before they left the forecourt, geek. Shots fired. Exactly what Vrome said, the boom meter's there with 100% transparency set. Then. Quirk, thank you for the host. Hope you woke, Mr. Quirk. Lotus Carlton was a beast that could do 186.
Welcome to the Nut House.
Bluesmaster 2000, welcome to the Nut House. Can we give Blues a nutty welcome? Thank you for your support. The original BMW M3? Which one? Do you mean the actual Marky Mark? Do you mean the left-hand drive one that they only made 5,000 of? The one that was designed by the F1 team? That one? Because a friend of mine managed to get one of those. And, like, that was such a good car. Like, it wasn't the fastest thing in the planet, because they were pretty heavy BMWs, but it went round corners like it was on a track. It was ridiculous. I remember him going up to Scotland to pick it up. The official James, the Reliant Robin trumps all of those. Discussions over. My stepdad had a Reliant Robin. He didn't have it for very long. Is it the new Italia DLC? Where are we? We're just passing Verona. We're skirting along the edges of the Italia DLC. I think Verona was in the original pack, wasn't it? Anything south of here was DLC, I believe. Would I ever consider driving on a 1/1 scale map? I think I don't have a problem driving on a 1/1 scale map, Mustang, but it depends if the map is like... It's a bit like the coast-to-coast map. It stretches enormous distances, but there's not a lot to kind of entertain the eye on the way, let's say that. So a 1:1 scale map would demand a map author to create a lot of scenery. So it kind of depends on what the eye candy was like as to whether I'd want to drive it. Because I could make a 1:1 scale map, right? And just have a piece of tarmac in the grass for like 1,000 miles. Would you want to drive it because it's a 1:1 scale? Not really. It's boring. But if you tried to make that detailed on a 1:1 scale, that's going to take a lot of work. I should probably get a photograph of this, or a picture of this truck. I bet you would, Baz. Do you know Doctor Who? Not personally. You watched the classic series 63 to 69. So who was the Doctor Who in that one? Was it John Pertwee, or was that... did he come after? I'm trying to think. I used to watch Tom Baker. Tom Baker was like a great Doctor Who. I always said 1 to 10 to get the details in. What scale is the Dutch map? Because that's a lot. That's like a 1 to. Is it 1 to 4 or something like that? It's quite a small scale. The Dalton map in ATS is 1 to 1. Is it 1 to 6? Yeah, you see that's pretty detailed. I remember when you drive that map, you look at 2 cities and you think, oh, that's not far. And then you drive it, you know, it's only 300k, it's not far. And then next thing, like an hour later, still going. Evil! Another month and still getting great content. Happy trucking. Thank you. Virtue was mid-70s. Right, so he came after. Oh, we can't go that way. The new Treasure map is 1 to 2. TDM was 1 to 4. Whenever I say TDM, to me it just means Team Deathmatch. I can't help it. TDM is Team Deathmatch. Lancia Stratos. Jimmy. Never been a fan of Lancia. I think they make nice looking things, but build quality and reliability is just not up there, is it?
Welcome back,
Farms Infant, I've been full of a cold the last couple of days, well, since Thursday. Every now and again I have a coughing fit. My throat is like, feels like it's been sanded down. The Scottish King, welcome back. Yeah, it's just a cold. I mean, a cold is a cold, isn't it? You have it for up to a week and it passes through and back to normal. It's just annoying. A cold is more annoying. Like a flu just knocks you for 6, but a cold is just very annoying. Makes you feel lousy. And you always kind of sit there wondering, where did I get this? I always got that question in my mind. Where did I get this from? Do I like Alfa Romeo or not? Never owned one. No intention of buying one. I think they do some very stylish looking cars, but they're not for me. Just not my style, if that makes sense. My preference. Well, no, I'll tell that to Dre, Baz. I mean, this is the thing, Baz. It's about choice, isn't it? If It's his choice. If he's happy with his car, that's great for him. And apart from some teething problems like that he had, it's been pretty good so far. You're not a real car fan, if you say so, RW. Am I not allowed to have preferences then? Is that what it is? If my preferences don't align with yours, I'm not a real car fan. Is that how this goes? Seems to me that many people have got a cold around this time of year. Yeah. I think you're right. Don't you get a new car this year? No, James. Mrs. Squirrel got a new car. She changed the Yaris Hybrid in for a Yaris Hybrid. So she's now traded in her 4-year-old Yaris Hybrid for another Yaris Hybrid. Yeah, Kishi, because it's in the video feed, dude. I put it in the video feed. What cars do I like? I would love a McLaren, but I can't see it ever happening. But I do love McLaren. But back in the real world, don't know, Porsche 911 would be lovely. I love Aston Martins. Nissan GTR would be amazing fun. An Audi RS8. There's loads of cars that I really like. But I'm not a real car fan, so don't listen to me. What are we hauling today? Let's take a picture while we're thinking about that. Skyline GTR. The Skylines were great until the Nissan GTR came out. With all of its computer gadgetry. There you go, that's what we're hauling. Ferrari and Lambi. Ferraris and Lambos. I don't think I'd be practically fit in a Lambo. The roof height of a Lamborghini is just too low for somebody like me. And Ferraris are great, but I don't know if I'd want to own one. Because I'm more veered towards a car that I can use every day, you know, rather than a machine that is tiring to drive. Tiring but amazing to drive. You know, like stiff clutch, like get stuck in town on a Ferrari and your clutch muscle is going to be absolutely killing you after about 20 minutes. I kind of prefer something that is a bit more real world rather than a supercar. Actually, one of my mates is looking at getting the Jaguar F-Pace. He's got an AMG Mercedes. I think it's a CLK AMG, and he's looking at getting the F-Pace. If you had to drive a car, you go for something with an automatic gearbox and not insanely overpowered. Well, Mustangs look good, but they look amazing actually, Mustangs. I do love the look of the Mustang. But if I remember when I looked at the Mustang, you can get 2 engines for them. One of them is like the more original, what is it, 4 or 5 litre engine or something, which is a bit of a gas guzzler in the UK. That's going to get expensive. And the other one is some really weird, like 2.5 litre engine that I didn't fancy. Opinions on the Mazda 323F, Marty. My friend had a Mazda 323. Very, very reliable. You see, I just wouldn't want a 5 litre car. CFBS. Not with the price of fuel the way it is here in the UK. Why did they just randomly slow down? That was weird. Ever had a Vauxhall Astra? The only time I ever had a Vauxhall Astra was when I hired a car once and they gave me a Vauxhall Astra. You had a 66 Mustang, you drove it fast and hard, and your wallet was always empty. That sounds about right. Any updates on the visit to Heathrow? Yep, should be happening. EcoBoost twin turbocharged V6 on the Mustang. Lol. Oh, there's an IKEA here. You feel safer on two wheels? Geek. Wow. Oh, you don't have a bike license yet? Wow, frame rates? What the heck? Look at the frame rates here. It's not so bad outside, but inside it's not great. You own a Lexus 450h 2014. What's so good about it? Gupper said. What do you like about it? Udon discovered. Look at that. Choppy. Really choppy. I think the rain's not helping either, to be honest. The US also has a 4-cylinder turbo EcoBoost Mustang. It's not very common. Blimey, the frames. Lexus is comfy, easy to drive, spacious, and the hybrid engine helps wonderfully. Iveco truck dealer. Let's go and turn around on the forecourt. Why aren't you taking part in the Easter hunt on ETS2? I don't know. Is it optional? Or do I have to do it? Finally, a game that isn't rubbish. Yay for Sunday Night Trucking. Brawl. Captain Rubbish. It's rubbish if I don't like it. It's rubbish. I've never known anybody use the word rubbish as often. I think there's an MP event, the Easter thing. Nah, it's rubbish. Whoa, she just disappeared. That woman with a pram. This weather's rubbish. The frames are definitely rubbish. There's no Easter hunt event yet, but probably soon. Okay. Your whole existence is rubbish. Lol. The Easter egg hunts and MP event. Right, there you go.